That wouldn't bow the knee to the king. It was one Hannah, a woman that wouldn't stop praying, that kept crying for a miracle child. And God gave her Samuel, the first prophet in Israel. We just need a few. God called, saved, full of the Holy Ghost people that won't back down, that won't bend the knee to the world system, and said, we're going to help take this gospel to the four corners of the world. Just give us somebody to believe with us. Just give us two that agree in faith. Just give us three that'll stand up with us. Just give us five that will say, where you go, I'll go. The time is at hand. The time is at hand. Evil is all around us. Darkness is enveloping us. It's nearing the midnight hour. But I got news for you. Save the best for last. Because before the rapture, there's going to be a move of God. For in the last days, God is going to pour out His Spirit upon all flesh. All flesh. All flesh. Nobody's going to be left out. All flesh. A harvest is coming. A harvest is coming. A harvest is coming. Now you got to make a decision. You can help. Sit down. I got 1 minute. You can help bring the harvest in, or you can oppose the harvest. See, there's no such thing as being on the sidelines when it comes to the harvest. You're either out there with a sickle in your hand, which is your praying, your intercession, your giving, your faith. And if you're not doing that, you're impeding. You're in the way. And we got too much dead weight in the church. We got too many hanger-ons that don't do anything, don't stand for anything. Their life means nothing. But in the days to come, it's going to cost you something. Let me close with this. You see this building here? Before it was ever built, the man that wrote that song, Camel Train, Ansel Vibert, built and pioneered a great church, Evansville, Indiana. When he built that church, he was one of the few Pentecostal churches in America in that day that was running 1,000. Powerful man of God. He retired. And when we started Family Worship Center, we were traveling almost every weekend. And the Holy Spirit moved upon Dad to start bringing in Brother Vibert and Brother Alcorn, Carl Alcorn, who pastored a great church in Amarillo, Texas. Wichita Falls, Texas, We were in a revival there when John F. Kennedy was assassinated. These were pioneers of Pentecost. These were men that had been through the fire, had been through the war, and they limped when they walked, but they were still standing. And we would alternate. One would come in, preach Sunday morning, Sunday night. We hardly ever got to see them because they would leave Monday morning. We would get in Monday afternoon from a meeting. But one of those meetings, Brother Vibert stayed over for a reason. Brother Vibert, Dad, and I was in his car. We went to eat lunch at Piccadilly, right over here on Essen Lane. Got out of the car, was walking across the parking lot. I was in the front. And I heard Brother Vibert's voice. Brother Vibert was a character. He's like Daddy. He never whispered in his life. His whisper was louder than your yell. When we held a revival in his church, I kid you not, he'd be on the platform, and if whoever was preaching, if something blessed him, he would start throwing songbooks at the audience. And just... One time Daddy was preaching, he had thrown every songbook. There was no other songbooks left to throw. I don't know what he said. I was a little boy. He got so excited, he was looking around for something to throw, and his poor associate pastor sitting next to him. He reached in and grabbed the shoe off his foot and threw the shoe all the way across the back of the building. He was something else, man. He had a kid in his church whose mama called him to sing. Get what I said? And they paid for him to go to Nashville and record an album. Boudreaux can bark better than this kid could sing. Made the album, had it pressed. It came in. He walked over to, drove right over to Brother Vibert's house, knocked on the door. Brother Vibert came to the door, said, "Here's you're the very first one. I'm giving this album to you. I'm going to leave. I want you to listen to it. I'm coming back in about 2 hours, and I want you to give me an honest opinion." Came back, ding dong. Brother Vibert said, "Did you listen to my album?" "Yes, I did." "Well, what do you think about it? Is there any use for it?" He goes, "Oh, yes. And I want to show you the perfect use. Come with me." They walked into the den. He walked over, picked up the record off the turntable, said, "Come on, follow me." Walked through the house to the backyard and stand right there. "Now see this? The best Frisbee money can buy." He was just tough. But all of a sudden, I heard his voice say, "Jimmy, what you're doing is of God."
Yeah.
This church you're trying to build, God's going to use it to touch the world.
Yeah.
And I heard Dad behind me go, "Well, thank you, Brother Vibert. I thank you." He kept walking. I was looking at the corner, and all of a sudden, Brother Vibert reached over and grabbed him by the arm and stopped him. And they stopped. He said, "No, son, you didn't hear what I said. God has ordained this church."
What?
This church will touch the nations of the world.
Yeah.
And then he said, "You're going to have a rough patch." And he said, "I don't know what that is. You're going to have some rough days, but God's going to see you through.
Amen.
And the end will be greater than the beginning." For the time is at hand. For the time is at hand. A move of God is coming. It's time for Ireland. It's time for England. It's time for Germany. It's time for the Czech Republic. It's time for Russia. It's time for the Ukraine. It's time for Japan. It's time for Japanese. It's time for China. It's the time for the Vietnamese and the Cambodians and the Malaysians. It's the time for the Saudi Arabians and those of Qatar. It's the time of the outpouring of the time is at hand, church. The time is at hand. The time is at hand. We're going to see great things. You're going to see blinded eyes open. You're going to see deaf ears unstopped. You're going to see the lame walk. You're going to see it. You're going to see the power of God. Because God always saves the best for last. Hallelujah. Stand to your feet this morning. I'm telling you, you're on the winning team. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about Jesus. You're on the winning team. You're on the winning team. And every one of you watching, you have been divinely called. Just as the Holy Spirit brought those men that were in debt, distressed, and discontented to David to the eyes of the church world, this is no more than the cave of Adullam. Now, I know what I'm talking about. I know what they say. In the eyes of most of the church, this is nothing more than the cave of Adullam. But I remind them, the Holy Spirit sent a camp meeting to that cave.
Amen.
Now listen to that. I'm going to shut up right now after this. You mark what I'm saying. I'm not a prophet, but I speak prophetically right now. If you'll get on board with us, with everything you've got. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about everything you've got. Your prayers, your intercession, your faith,
Yeah.
and your financial help when it's needed.
Yeah. Come on.
That God will take you to places you never thought possible.
Amen. Amen.
Do you realize that one of those Bibles that's going to go to Venezuela could fall into the hands of some pastor in some little unnamed village? And the
Amen.
revelation of the cross could so turn him up, he'll become the Apostle Paul of that nation.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. I can't announce it today. We can announce it tomorrow. I can't announce it today. But God has opened a miracle, opened a door of a miracle. I can't say what it is right now. I cannot say what it is. But tomorrow we should be able to announce it. At least that's what they told us. And I have a feeling you'll know it first thing in the morning. But God, I'll tell you, what I'm talking about is a miracle of miracles. And God has raised up this church. He's raised you up. You are a David. You are a Nathan.
Amen.
You are an Abraham. You are a Jacob. You are a Nathaniel. You are a Deborah, a Hannah. None of